So I have a model here and I need to sculpt the muscles. And to do it, we have to go to ZBrush and Mudbox, and then you can make the sculpting. But for a beginner, it's a very problematic matter to get your muscle sculpting right in the first place. So in this technique, it is 95% muscles you can make in Maya only. Then you can take this mesh and you can get your extra muscles features inside ZBrush or in Mudbox. So now you can see we have physical muscles also in this workflow, and this is totally a poly model, and now we can make this model very easily. So this is a poly model, and we have added a lots of smoothness in it, otherwise this method won't work properly. You'll get artifact in your final look. So now we have combined all the pieces of your muscles in one single object, and this is really high resolution. And I have done the retopology here on that muscle, so we have no intersection of this muscle to the skin. So you can see that somehow here we have some issues, and here and here. So we have to fix these issues before doing so. So you shouldn't have any kind of intersection. But the thing is that if I go very far, you will get the intersection. So this is all one kind of camera based. So it's not like that. So if I come here closer, the intersection won't see properly. So if it is here and intersecting, so you should fix this, and you should fix this also here. But I have fixed everything in here. You can see this is not properly visible because of this is totally a retopology mesh based on your muscles. So intersection you shouldn't have, and you have to have a very high resolution skin and high resolution muscle. So now what to do? You have to select the edges, and you have to select the area which is going to be very, very rigid, and just select go to back view and select the head also, and inside mouth also, because of here there is no relation to muscles. Of course in real life there is, but for this kind of CG work there is no need to have muscles in your inner mouth. So right now we have selected this edges, control right click, to vertex. Now it is converted into vertex, and go to your create sets and quick selection set, and you can add any name you want to add here. Choose OK, and you can see we have a selection set. So now select it and go to your FX. And in this FX, you have this N-cloth. And now you can see that we have nucleus and this N-cloth object. And we have to select this muscles also and go to your passive collider. Now we have got this N-rigid, which is linked with your muscle system. And we have this nucleus and N-cloth. So what I have to do, I have to go to your nucleus now first, then I have to use some parameters here. Now we have gravity. The gravity, we didn't need any gravity. So I need to make the gravity off. And go to your solver attribute, and you can see that we have substeps. Substeps is extremely important to make your simulation correct. So make it 12. and max collision iteration, make it 12 also. So this is how you'll get this nice looking simulation in your N-class. So these three things you have to do into your nucleus node. Now go to your N-class, and here we have this option called pressure. And in pressure, what I have to do, right click on this and set a keyframe, go to 10 frame, and here type minus 0.5 and right click and set a keyframe. So I'm going to put a pressure which is into negative value, and go to your option called input mesh attract, make this 1. So if you make it 1, now this is a rigid object. There is no influence of your N-class at all. So this is a normal rigid object. N-class is not going to contribute in this object. So what I have to do, what I need to have that only this area should have the cloth properties, but the face and the paw shouldn't have this kind of cloth effect. So what I have to do, we have to go to your N-class and vertex paint we have here, and go to your input attract option box. So here we have this paint attribute input attract. Make sure that you are in a correct option. Sometimes it is happening like collision or so wrinkle. So make sure that you are in this input mesh attract. Once you go there, you can see that this whole entire model is white. So white means is this, that input mesh attract is 1 means white. If it is 0, that means this is black. Black means entire object is a cloth. So in this case, I need the partial area should have some cloth properties, and rest I need to have a rigid properties. So this is how we input mesh attract works. Now in this case value is 1, so make this and flood it. Now you can see this is totally black. Even though we have this input mesh attract is 1, but still we have overridden with this paint attribute of input mesh attract. Now we need to make this face or head and paw as a solid object. So that is why we need to have this select quick selection set, and this is the selection set we have here. So what I have to do, though it is not visible right now, but it is there. So what I have to do, go to here and make it 1 and flood it. And now press W and press Y key and come here. And I can see that input mesh attract, somehow it is not getting updated. So input mesh attract, we have this white part, and here we have some black part. So the black part is cloth and the white part is rigid object. So no simulation is going to take place in this white object. That is why we have to create that selection set to make a flood very easily. So now what I have to do, we have to simulate this. So just go to first frame and then go to your FX caching here, and here select this object, go to your this icon, this is called Ncache for your N-class. So click on this and replace it. Now we have done with our simulation. We can see that we have really nice looking muscle wrinkle effect here, though this area is very wrinkly, and you can go for this and you can have a little bit of relaxation in this area also. So here you can make this smoother. Now you can see this area has no effect of this cloth, neither this area. You can easily mix this area really easily. Later on you can simulate your muscles also, which will be exactly accurate of your sculpted mesh. So what you have to do in this case, that you need to delete this entire history, because of I don't need any kind of history, and you cannot use smooth again because of its very dense mesh. So you can go for this modeling and mesh display. We have here soften edges. So you can see that we have a softened edge, and in this mesh I can put it into ZBrush or Mudbox. I can start sculpting because of 95% is done in Maya. So this technique is really helpful for beginners, those who don't know that where your muscle should be. And if I go to your sRGB and make this raw, you'll get this much more shininess to your model to see how the sculpting is looking inside Maya. So hope you have liked it. Thanks a lot for watching.